Joining me today for some Epic Surf news, I have a guest here today, Ray Kunz. Stoked came by here to share a few words with us and talk about some surfing. So we're going to talk to Ray a little bit about surfing locally, talk about today, what happened today with the waves, talk a little bit about maybe where Ray surfs if he wants to let us know about that. And so how are the waves today, bro? What happened?
The waves were looking a little rough today. You know, we got that west wind blowing. We got a storm coming down here. It's bringing a little bit of surf, but unfortunately, we got that wind blowing the wrong direction. Yeah,
I think on the cam I saw a kite border and something else going on over there. I mean, you know, it's amazing too is that some of the waves I saw on the camera anyways weren't too bad, but you know, with a little bit of rain, everybody gets freaked out, especially in Southern California,
Yes,
right?
they do.
Yeah, back when I was a Grom, right, I used to just charge whenever, and
yeah,
these days you're like,
we didn't think about that stuff back then, you know?
So, you know, where do you like to surf, Ray? In North County, San Diego?
Yeah, North County, San Diego is probably, I feel, one of the premier areas of Southern California for surfing. You know, you got a little bit of everything. You got beach breaks, we got reef breaks. My personal favorites, Oceanside Harbor, which I think is probably one of the most consistent beach breaks anywhere, really. I mean, it can get so good there. And then there's another little local reef break that I will leave nameless at this point, but it's a nice little reef, you know, fairly close by that it can get quite good sometimes.
There's definitely a few little reef spots or places that even wake up only sometimes down in the area here. But yeah, the harbor's good. I mean, I think I've been saying that for too many years because I know a lot more people are at the harbor.
Yes, there
so
is.
Even the harbor's kind of like, you know, should we really be talking about it a
No, we really shouldn't be. Actually, I'd go surf the pier probably.
The pier's a great spot.
Probably so much better than the harbor.
South side or something.
Push down so if you're listening, I'd go check out the pier first.
So, you know, Ray, man, you're doing a couple other things other than seeing you in the lineup. You're doing some other stuff with small business locally. Tell me about that.
Well, my wife started a little local small business called Gnarly Designs, and it's basically handmade crocheted things. We make beanies, beach bags, pretty much anything you could think of that you could crochet.
You're rocking a beanie right now?
I'm rocking a beanie right now. This particular one is called the Beach Break. And I like to use colors for things like we got the sand and we got the watercolor, so we kind of call it Beach Break.
Nice, I love that.
Yeah, it's a fun little business. We of course would like to grow it.
So you actually have this business on Facebook, I noticed. And,
yes.
And so there's a Facebook page which is Gnarly Designs. Yes. Somebody could type that in and find you on that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's a great place to start, and then from there you can find the website.
Yeah, you can go to the Facebook page, and that'll direct you to the website and everything else.
And
you can
so
message us
taking online orders for that?
Yeah. It's been a pretty good thing. And we're eventually would like to get into the Sunset Market. That's one of our goals. You know, that's a pretty good thing they got going there.
Cool. Well, you know, keep your eyes open for that as well. Something to keep your dome nice and warm on these winter mornings and spring Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kremes?
Yeah, these Krispy Kreme mornings.
Yeah, these beanies are awesome for that. Those cold offshore mornings, they were almost made for that. I mean, you know, you got the warmth plus a little bit. It lets a little bit of air in, which really helps.
Right,
you know,
right. It doesn't make your head feel constricted.
Yes.
Surfing locally, you know, there's a bunch of good waves. There's more and more people around the area as time goes on. Of course, Southern California, a lot of people like to come here. You know, what's some of your tricks, man? How do you keep a good vibe? I always see you out in the lineup. You're always having a good time, and you know, what are some of the things that you do to keep positive and make sure that you have a good time?
Well, first, you really have to look at the situation. You're doing something that, really, if you look at the world or even our country, really a small percentage of people are doing, and it's just such a magical thing. When you're out there on those special days, you could be out there, you could have the worst day ever, paddle out, leave it all on the beach, and you know, just kind of commune with nature. You can be out there, you know, a dolphin will swim by or something. I mean, how can you be not stoked about that, you know?
Yeah, and sometimes, right, I mean, like, how about giving people waves? You know, the Groms, ladies, other bros in the lineup. I mean, that sometimes feeds back into your whole vibe,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, especially, you know, on a good day, and you're getting a lot of waves anyway.
Right.
I'll let waves go by. Right. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy that's like that guy.
Yeah, well, you know, once I get 2 or 3 good ones, I kind of go, ooh. At some point, sometimes I even paddle in. I'm like, you know, I better just let some of these other guys, especially if it's a point break, right? If you have a point break, everybody knows the wave's coming next, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's key, man. And so I always appreciate the good vibe Ray's thrown out in the lineup, and you know, that kind of feeds on itself, and everybody, you know, gets everybody else in the rhythm as well. You know, little hooting and hollering.
Yep.
For some
little
people,
hooting and hollering for sure. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, right.
That's the best part, man. Seeing your bro drop in on a nice wave, you gotta hoot.
Right. Yeah, it's contagious. You know, I was getting the grin right now, just kind of thinking about it. Right? Yeah. So, you know, speaking about surfing, you know, as everybody knows, the World Tour just kicked off at Snapper Rocks, and the waves are firing, or at least good enough, right? With 2 or 3 guys in the water. So this year, including some previous years, but this year we got Ray involved in the fantasy surfing. So we got a little more skin in the game now, right? So you know, we all got our favorites, but you know, when you actually have to choose between some of your favorites, and you don't pick sometimes one of your favorites, you kick yourself when you see that other guy doing good, right?
Yes.
And so we got, you know, a handful of guys in there. You know, I think I've been in the middle so far. You know, it's like a roller coaster as the comp goes on, right? So I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down.
Changes.
Yeah, so you know, I try not to look until the end of the day to see where everything landed at the end. And it just got past round 4. Today's going to be the quarterfinals, and we just looked right now, and Ray's at the top, right? Oh,
for the moment.
For the moment. But we're going to the quarterfinals, and so you've got maybe 2 guys left in there.
2 guys left. 2 guys left.
I was really hoping for Adriano to win. I lost him because nobody else in the league seemed to have Adriano, so that would have kicked me to the top.
That's the key right there. You got to get those guys that nobody else has.
Right, and I'm believing in Adriano this year because he seems like he's got, you know, he got married a while back. He's kind of seems like he's got that all in order.
So he's got that all settled.
He's worked it out, I think. He's feeling good. He's looking hungry. I mean, kind of to the way I saw him a few years back when he won the world title and leading up to that win. I was definitely a big fan of his. You know, I was a little, you know, bummed when he started kind of, you know, getting into his lovey-dovey marriage stage, and I was happy for him, of course, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I was definitely like, come on, man, I need you to be out there, you know, the paddle battle.
Charge, man.
Yeah, the paddle battle, right?
That's more charging.
So yeah, he got kicked out. So now I think I'm one of the guys left, like everybody else who has Felipe Toledo left. Right?
Yeah. I think Felipe's the new John.
Yeah.
This year.
Exactly. So you know, even if he wins in the league, I'm not going to push up probably a whole lot more. If anything, I might have a chance of going lower. So if you haven't gotten in the league, look for Epic Surf News. You can join in. The password's WSL 2017. And that'll get you right into the whole setup. And you can jump in late, right? You won't get as many points, but the season's long.
Hey, loads of fun, and we're going to have a little prize package, too, there.
All right, you want to share that with the people out there. There's going to be a beanie thrown out with some other
beanie, duct tape wallet, a coin stash purse. They're about this big, zipper little little things, whatever you want to use it for.
Yeah, and there's going to be a leash, a brand new leash. And if you're here locally, you get a chance to get a 6-pack. We're going to be over at Legacy at some point, probably trying to celebrate the winners or the losers maybe too.
We can have a season-end little banquet. We can have our own.
Yeah, a little swag bag, right?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so keep your ears out for that. Jump in. It's worth heckling each other at a minimum.
Absolutely.
So when this comp's done, man, I'm gonna, you know, I've been practicing things I'm gonna say, and some of those things I can't now that I lost some people. But I'm sure my bros are gonna have some things to say about who I picked as well. Yeah, so basically that's the catch up on that. So at Snapper, yesterday was a bunch of action going down. Tell me about who your favorite performer was, at least in terms of what you saw on there, and what impressed you.
I have to say that the Italo Italo Ferriera.
It's very tough to say. We're working on it.
With the Felipe Toledo heat, his backside attack was just mind-boggling to me. I mean, just the speed and the timing was just amazing. I mean, I was more impressed with his surfing, and he lost his heat even more so than Gabriel. I think Gabriel was just making it look too easy. He gets his boards and just throws them up there upside down, all kinds of stuff. But he makes it look so easy that I think people are like, it doesn't look that hard. It's not that radical, but it truly is.
Yeah.
You can see what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's very polished. He knows how to skate as well, so I think that bleeds into his surfing. You know, I think for Gabriel Medina, which is you know, maybe a struggle for him, as you can see still, is that he's pretty competitive. So he gets into trouble right away.
Very competitive.
And you know, if he's competitive and he gets the advantage or the edge out of that competitiveness, then it helps him. He gets under his wings and he goes. But if he gets kind of thrown off, you know, there was an early round there where he tried to paddle battle. He got outsmarted on the jock, and you know, somebody went around him, and he got the penalty.
Because he's notorious for that. At the beginning of the heat, trying to get, because he's forced. I don't know how many times I've seen him force people into interference penalties.
Sure,
like that.
No, I mean he's good at it, but it's tough, and you can see. I think if he gives that up a little bit, he'd probably be in pocket for another time.
And you know, he's hard to figure out his personality. He comes off as arrogant, but from what I understand, you know, the other guy, he's a really nice guy.
Sure.
But I know a lot of people. He just kind of sits.
Yeah, it's a little.
You know, I know a lot of
local
Californians find it kind of. He just comes off as arrogant, I think. A little bit.
And he's a younger guy coming in too, and I actually had a chance to interview him a few years back at the U.S. Open, and you know what happened was I saw him on the beach, and I hadn't really watched the heat that he was in, and I didn't realize that he lost his heat, right? So I went up just because I was like, hey, you know, maybe I want to talk to you, and you know, he was feeling the loss, and you know, I kind of felt like, is he giving me attitude or something? But it wasn't even that. It was just that he was wearing it on his sleeve. I didn't realize that he had taken the loss. And you know, I think every year he's getting. You know, he's a big kid now. He's a man, and I think he's kind of growing with it, and probably over the next couple of years.
He's going to
refine that. So speaking about the Brazilian crew, I was pushing for Adriano De Souza, as I mentioned earlier, and he did a standout performance. Man, some of those late drops, barrel ride, come out, you know, drop wallet, you know, pulling out of the foam, you know. Very exciting. You know, I really thought he was going to pull through, but that didn't happen. And you know, I'm still going to be his pocket. I'll tell you right now, I might put him on my team again at Bell's. You know, he might be a feature on my team, and we'll see how that plays out at the end of the season. So today's the final deal. So we'll see what happens with the winners of this thing. Forget about who wins the comp. We're going to be talking about who won the fantasy.
That's right. The important stuff. You know, Mikey Wright too. I have to say was he's got this like two-handed layback kind of turn that he does. It's just it's just epic. It's just the coolest.
So I got to tell you, man, Mikey Wright is definitely an exciting surfer. I love watching him surf. You know, it's something that has nothing to do with surfing. Actually makes it really hard for me to get in this corner full time. And it's the same thing. It's not just him. It's Jordy Smith. Okay. It's this haircut thing.
Yeah, his haircut.
If they drop the mullets. Drop the mullets is all I got to say. Because you know, Jordy Smith, man, that kid, that guy rips. Yes. Right? I mean, he surfs amazing. But I mean, he's not on my fantasy team. I don't really talk about him. Because I'm like, man, the mullet thing, I just can't get past it.
You know, he reminds me of Kanoa Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves.
Right.
There you go. Yeah. He looks just like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, he kind of does. So you know, and I think maybe Jordy might be refining that a little bit. But you know, if both those guys, they probably don't care if I'm in their corner. They're doing their own thing anyways. And so, but yeah, if they cut the mullet, grew the bangs out maybe a little bit, I'd be all.
Yeah,
the
mullet thing, especially Mikey's, that's.
And it's probably just a California perspective on it.
Yeah, I know. It's like
because South Africa probably rocks Australia. Probably digging it. So we're going to move on to the next topic here. The next thing I want to talk about is Kanoa Igarashi. I mean, so this kid's been killing it. He's been repping for SoCal. He's a Huntington Beach local. I used to live in Huntington for a long time. A couple of my kids grew up there. And so, you know, I'm always digging on guys from the local area showing up. And, you know, I've always had a lot of respect for the kid as a young guy. He carries himself really, really well. Seems really nice, humorous, having a good time. And he's getting a little older now. He's on the CT.
Yep.
You know, he's been on the CT for a minute. So, what was it? End of last year, some time ago, they announced, or beginning of the year, they announced that he's on the Olympic team for Japan.
For Japan.
So, you know, and being from Huntington, you know, if you're from there, there's a lot of, let's say, patriotic people in Huntington Beach, right? So, you know, it's very American. And so I know, you know, and I saw online, you know, some of the people kind of giving him some heat about, you know, how could you be surfing for Japan and whatnot. But, you know, I'm sure it's a well thought out thing for Kanoa. He's got some Japanese heritage within him, so he jumped over there. I mean, there's not a whole lot of people from Japan representing in general, so it kind of is a good thing for Japan.
I think that may have been why he did it. You know,
right.
Just to give them a boost, you know, because you know, while you look at the Olympics, it's going to be, you know, Australia and the United States surf teams are going to be. Oh, and well, Hawaii's going to have to be part of the United States in this. Sorry, sorry guys.
We're going to bring them in.
Yeah, you guys are going to have to be with us on this one. But I think maybe that's why he did it. Maybe because he can be the main guy for Japan.
They guaranteed him a spot pretty much.
And you know, because he's obviously going to be, I would think, the leader of that.
Right. There's only going to be so many people on the team, and the competition for the U.S. is stiff.
And I think some of the baseball players have done that in the past when they've done that, where
basketball
the guy was Cuban or something, and instead of, you know.
Right. So for Olympics, not uncommon.
Yeah, I don't think it's an uncommon thing, you know. And I'm sure he has plenty of reasons why, but I'm sure he didn't do it to try to be unpatriotic, anti-American, or something like that.
Yeah, and so just the other day he announced. Well, it kind of came in. There's like I think two kind of announcements that came out. So he announced that one, he's going to be representing himself on the World Tour, which is outside Olympics, right? He's going to represent Japan as well. So he's already representing Japan.
Oh wow! So he's basically
he's expanded
a Japan
that
guy now.
And so, and to triple that up is that there's going to be the Founders Cup, which is going to be a wave pool event coming up in the beginning of May. It's not a World Tour event; it's a specialty event, and they're going to do teams. So kind of like an Olympic style format to some extent. And so they have a bunch of regions set out. So you know, America and Australia.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so there's a bunch of people that surf on the World Tour that are not from these major regions, right? There's kind of this guy from here and there. And so they have one team, there's 5 teams total, and one of them is called the World Team. And so
that's just kind of the odd.
Yeah, it's just everybody, you know, I'll call it odd.
Well, bad choice.
Well, back to the captain of that team is Jordy Smith. So, you know, so he's going to actually be on the World Team to kind of add to that.
Yeah.
You know, he's not quite surfing for America. And then I noticed that when we're interviewing him in this contest and some of the other ones that he kind of has to, like, you know, request from the interviewer, you know, can I say this in Japanese as well, because they're not, you know, they're just, they're thinking of him as being, you know, English speaker, American surfer, and so, you know, I think he's kind of trying to, you know, make that a thing where he can, you know, give an English interview and then also talk to his fans and people in Japan as well.
And I'm sure it probably helps promote the sport too in Japan.
Sure,
I mean, Japan is,
for sure.
I'm sure it's already huge anyway.
Yeah, I was looking at my statistics on my YouTube channel, and ever since that's been going on, more Japanese people are watching videos that he's in.
Oh, I bet.
So I think it's going to grow.
I think it's a plus.
Apparently,
really.
They were saying on the webcast yesterday that a lot of people came down from Japan to this event in Australia to support him. So I mean, he's definitely
bringing in some new people into that sport.
Yeah, so good for him.
As long as they don't want to surf the harbor,
exactly.
Go surf the pier.
Right. Well, maybe more people will go surf Japan.
Yeah, there you go.
Right?
There you go.
So
they do get good surf there.
It's a win. I hear it's cold, but I've
seen pictures.
Yeah, exactly. I would try it out. I would.
Yeah, I think it would be. I remember they used to have a tour event there a long time ago. I think it was in Chiba or something. beach break. But
wow, we're gonna
that was back in the day. Back in the day.
Yeah, we're gonna have to pull some clips on that at some point and talk about it. I'm gonna wrap this new segment up today with a topic which we already touched on a little bit, which is the Founders Cup that's going to take place in Lemoore, California, and this is a wave pool event, specialty event. They kept it kind of under the wraps in terms of information about the comp. They announced it a while back, I think end of last year at some point, and they basically just emailed out some information about pre-sale tickets that you can get. And so I got that email on the 12th of March, and the event's like beginning of May. So they're just kind of holding it to the last minute, maybe trying to build hype. Maybe they're still trying to sort out how they're going to do this whole thing. I think, right?
That part.
Right.
Oh, no, we sold tickets.
Yeah, so right away, I'm on the group text with a couple different groups of people I know, like, hey, what's going on? Blah 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 blah. I had 2 different people tell me that they were going to get the most expensive ticket option that they have. So the ticket options come in. It's basically a little bit over $100 for an adult to go to this comp. All comps in the past have been free. I mean, they're on public land typically. You go, you show up, they're grateful that someone's there. Yeah. In recent years over at Trestles, they started having hamburgers, and you might be able to get some drinks if you go over to this different section. But, pretty much it's just been run on up, right? That's been the deal. So it's free, which makes it hard for them to monetize and make money at the sport. It's tough. Surfing has been a economically tight situation in terms of competition and what sponsors can gain from it, I guess. So this time is going to be one of the first times, it's a facility, so they can do whatever they want to do now, right? Yeah. And so $100, I think Groms are $80. You can get VIP for a little over $500. VIP, you get free drinks, including alcohol, they said, and food. So that's for the whole weekend. And the $100 tickets I'm talking about were just one day. I think it's $150 for the whole weekend. So a little pricey, especially if you got to consider that this is not in Oceanside, this is not in Huntington Beach, this is not in Malibu. This is up by Fresno, basically, and it is a long drive for a lot of surfers that live down here. Not too bad for NorCal people, but it's definitely not what surfers are used to. They're not used to just driving inland away from the water.
Especially to a place like Fresno.
Right. And then you got to stay in some hotel in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? So I got reservations for that too. The hotel's going to cost me more than the ticket, and I've got to drive up there. You don't want to drive up the same day. It's a surf trip. It's an adventure.
Yeah, definitely a surf trip. Now, can you see this as the future? Do you think there's going to be a time when all the surf events are going to be in man-made waves in stadium settings, like a major league kind of thing, and you could have different types of waves at each one? But I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of a purist here. I think there's something special about the unpredictability of the ocean. I mean, it's obviously not a good thing when it's flat and you're trying to have a contest, but you can't have. Brutal. On the other hand, if every wave was just flawless, that's great. It's kind of weird too, Yeah.
It's going to expand the repertoire of tricks and things. I think. I think it's going to happen. I think you might have 50%.
Kind of headed that way.
Or let's say for example, the backup location might be the wave pool. So they show up, they set up shop at Trestles or wherever it's going to be at, or not Trestles.
Not Trestles anymore. Yeah.
And the waves are not good. Maybe I'll jump on a little plane and shoot up there.
That is one advantage, though, for sure. Right? Is the conditions you never have to worry about.
And how about night surfing? We got to see some of that.
Waiting periods and stuff. You really wouldn't need a waiting period if you knew.
Oh man.
The waves are right there. Right. Waiting period.
So that's going on. So out of that, there's a particular ticket that costs $9,500. And actually, I think
I saw that and I thought maybe it was a misprint.
And actually, it's about $97, almost $9,800 because they have a fee on there too, right? So with that, I mean, if I had the money laying around, and I would probably do it. Unfortunately, I would probably do it if money wasn't an issue, right?
For that kind of money, though, you'd almost own a share of it. I
$10
mean, $10,000, man. You want to share
or you should get like a stone with your name on it.
There you go.
Right?
Yes.
Part of the reef. Part of the reef or something, right?
There you go.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So there's an idea for you, Kelly.
There you go. Yeah.
But, you know, so for $9,500, you get the whole weekend. You get the VIP, all you can eat, all you can drink. You get, there's a dinner party that's going to happen before the comp starts. So you'll get to hang out and rub shoulders at the dinner party with all the pros. And then at the Saturday night, after the event, there's going to be a concert. So, you know, you get to
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you're going to rub shoulders again at a private concert at the wave pool. So that's all right. You know, still trying to work my way up to the $9,500 cost.
Yeah, I'm going to have to figure that one out.
So the last thing, though, is on, I think it's on Sunday or something, or after the comp, you're going to get to actually surf in the wave pool.
That's kind of
right. With the pros, you get coaching. They're going to video from the water, from the land. I mean, so you're going to walk out of there with like a whole, basically a package.
And what I've seen of that wave, it's not an easy wave to surf. It doesn't look like.
Oh, come on, man.
It looks like it's, you know, I've heard it's a very fast.
Hey, if they put me on that, I think I'll show some of these guys that.
Yeah.
Well, but maybe not those competitor guys. But maybe
some guys. I don't know who, but some guys.
The 9,500 guys, whoever's paying that, I think I might have a chance with them.
Those guys.
Hopefully. I don't know. Luckily, I'm not going to be on there, so I won't have to back this up, right? I'd be surfing every day, like 3 times a day if I got the chance to do that.
I don't think I would ever get out. I don't know.
No, I mean training before I went there, because once you get there and you're on camera, you don't want to be cooking it, right?
You can't be.
You know, because you know,
everybody's
gonna know about it, right?
Yeah.
So if you flounder, if you're doing the Johnny Crab stance, you know, if you're poopy stance too much, I mean, right? Missing the section, because you're not gonna be able to blame the wave.
Pedaling in the wave and purling and just right off the bat.
Oh yeah. So that's the package. So if you got the money, if they still got availability, I guess jump on it.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. So that's pretty much about all the information there on the Founders Cup. They are going to have a CT event at the end of the year in September as well. Who knows how much that one's going to cost to be a part of, but we'll find out.
Yeah. He's got to pay for that wave pool somehow.
Right. Exactly. So that wraps it up. That's the Surfing 411 for today. Check back in for more updates and more surfing interviews and surfing footage. Hopefully we'll get Ray back and give us some more input on some of the things going on in the surf world too. Peace.
See you guys in the water.
Yeah.